Good morning, students. Myself, Mutturaju NP, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysuru. Today I will explain the simple vapor compression refrigeration system with different refrigerants that will be used in the refrigeration process. That simple saturation process problems that I will explain. These are the problems that I will explain. Problems on vapor compression cycle. Actually this is supposed to be changed. Okay, the problem statement is like this: a ton capacity vapor compression refrigeration plant using Freon 12 as the refrigerant. Freon 12, you know, this is the banned refrigerant now. Because of its high global warming potential, we are banned this one. Now it is come with the R134A. Anyhow, here in the problem, Freon 12 is given. The evaporation temperature is minus 10 degrees Celsius and condenser temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Assuming simple saturated cycle, you have to find the mass flow rate of refrigerant in kg per minute, and also you have to find the work supplied to the compressor in terms of kilowatts. So this is the problem statement given. The problem is given problem is simple saturated problem. The refrigerant reach the dry saturation point after compression. Therefore, before the compression it is in the liquid plus vapor phase only. That's why you have to carefully write the pH diagram for the process. The pH diagram will be like this. This is the pH diagram is given. The pH diagram is process 1 to 2 is actually compression process. The compression will start at the point 1 and then ends at the point 2. In the problem itself it is given the ending is dry saturation. That's why before the compression it will be lies in what? Liquid plus vapor phase. That's why you have to note down this pH diagram. One who are studying this problem, please note down the pH diagram, this pH diagram. Otherwise in next slides when we give the enthalpy H1 H2 at the Hg something I will tell, that time you will be not in the position to understand the pH diagram. Therefore you note down the pH diagram carefully. Next, the refrigeration capacity is given 10 ton. We know that 1 ton of the refrigeration is 3.5 kilojoules per second from F12. From F12 refrigeration table. This is the table you want to prepare. The table is like this. This is the evaporator temperature, condenser temperature. So in this temperature and temperature you want to note on the this is latent heat, total enthalpy and sensible entropy, latent entropy, and then these are the SG. You know the definitions, all these things. Earlier I have explained these things in a vapor per cycle. So at minus 10 degree of F12, please use the Nijaguna thermodynamic data handbook. In that all the things are given. Next, I hope you are note down all these values. Next, see, S1 is equal to S2. S1 is equal to S2. Entropy, S1 isentropic compression. I am already told you that to note down the pH diagram. In the pH diagram you see carefully, the compression takes place from 1 to 2 is isentropic, and S1 is equal to SF plus XSFG at evaporator temperature, because I told you that before the compression it is lies in the liquid plus vapor phase, that is SF plus XSG. Therefore it is having the some amount of the dryness, only some, the x value is not equal to 1. That's why you have to calculate the value of x value. Therefore this is S2 is equal to Sg at condenser temperature. S2 is equal to Sg. In the previous table you have this one, this one you have, you see condenser temperature Sg value you have here, this is S2, and then same thing you want to equate with the Sf plus x HFG. This value you have to note down, then only you can calculate the x value. Once you familiar with that one, S2 is equal to x, you put all the values here. Sf, you in the from the table you put all the values, you will get S2 is equal to 0.68984. same thing you equate with the S1, it is equal to, because it is in the liquid phase, liquid plus vapor phase, that is 0.108 plus x value. Then x value is given, you will get the x value will be get, that is 0.971. After getting this value, you know this pressure enthalpy diagram. H1 is lies in what? Liquid plus vapor phase, liquid plus vapor phase. Therefore H1 is equal to HF plus XHFG. Therefore XFG, evaporator pressure. You see, this is evaporator pressure. At evaporator pressure, you know all the values. X is known, unknown. To find the x value by using the isentropic compression, you are already find out the value. After find the value, H1 is equal to this. You can put the values from here, from the table at evaporator temperature. These are the values you put. H1 you got. H2 is equal to Hg at condenser temperature. Therefore, the condenser temperature, at condenser temperature H2 is equal to this one. See, writing the pH diagram as per given problem, and writing the this one table, that is very important in this refrigeration problems. Then you can solve any kind of problems very easily. Therefore H2 is equal to Hg at what temperature? Condenser temperature. Hf is equal to H3 is equal to Hf at condenser temperature. Since H3 in this problem, you see H3 is touches the liquid, saturated liquid line after the condensation process at what temperature? Condenser temperature. Therefore you want to take the Hf value only. Therefore see, H3 is equal to Hf at this temperature, and H3 is equal to H4 since it is isenthalpic expansion. Therefore you will get the amount of heat energy absorbed by the evaporator, that is H1 minus H4. As per the sketch I am already explained in the first video, that Zoom class, that is H1 minus H4 is equal to 78. This one you can note down. Refrigeration effect kilojoules per kg. Work supplied H2 minus H1, that is compression work H2 minus H1. Next, refrigeration capacity, that in the problem itself it is given 10 ton capacity of refrigeration, but 1 ton capacity of refrigeration, it is equal to 3.5 kilojoules per second. It is I am telling in terms of kilojoules per second. You do all the problem with respect to second, but in the problem they are asked you to find the value of mass flow of refrigerant in terms of kilojoules per minute. What you will do, just you multiply this one with the 60. Let us do that one in the next step. This is 35 kilojoules per second, or 1 kilojoules per second is equal to 1 watt. Therefore 1 joules per second is equal to 1 watt. Therefore 35 kilowatt. Mass flow rate of the refrigeration is nothing but refrigeration capacity divided by refrigeration effect. That unit balancing also I am showing here. You please observe here carefully. mass flow rate of refrigerant M suffix R it is equal to 35 kilowatts. 35 kilowatts is nothing but 35 kilojoules per second, and 133 this is a refrigeration effect. Therefore see, kilojoules per second, kilojoules per kg, kilojoules per second. Here kg will goes up, therefore kilojoule will get cancel. You will remain with the only kg per second. You see, kg per second. Therefore this is the amount of, this is 0.3078 kg per second amount of the refrigerant is flowing in the circuit. But when you multiply this one with the 60, this will be converted into 18.47 kg per minute. Next, you know very well that according to what your class statement, the diagram you know very well, COP is equal to refrigeration effect divided by W, that is amount of work supplied. What is the refrigeration effect? Amount of heat energy absorbed in the evaporator. Therefore amount of heat energy absorbed in the evaporator divided by this one. Both should be in the same unit, that's why it is, you will get the 5.6, that is the COP of the refrigerant. Power required, mass refrigerant, that is mass of the refrigerant flow into work supplied, you will multiply this one. See here, kg will get cancelled, then kilojoules per second, then you will get in terms of kilojoules per second, at is kilowatts, or if you multiply with the 60, then it will, you will get with the kilojoules per minute. Therefore this is the problem. Thank you for listening. Dear students, welcome to the second problem. In this problem I want to give clear instruction that please take down the problem statement in your notebook, and a pH diagram. When it is pH diagram, you will get in the sheets that one in the slide. You want to note down the pH diagram and ammonia property table, since this problem is going to be tell with the ammonia table. Therefore you want to take properly. The problem statement is like this: a 15-ton capacity vapor compression refrigeration plant using F12, that freon, oh this is supposed to be ammonia, sorry, I am sorry, 1 minute. Ammonia, actually this is supposed to be the ammonia as a refrigerant. The evaporator temperature is minus 15 degrees Celsius temperature, but ammonia boiling point itself at 1 atmospheric pressure is minus 23 degrees Celsius. Then it can cool up to minus 15 degrees Celsius, and condenser temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Assuming simple saturated cycle, find the mass flow rate of the refrigerant in kg per minute. This is the problem what you want to solve, and mass flow rate of the and work done also you want to find out. How to do this problem? See, first the given problem is entering the condenser at dry saturated condition. In earlier problem what it was, at the end of the compression reaches the dry saturation point, but here it is not the case. It is entering the compressor itself at dry saturated point, then after compression it will go to what? Superheated point. After compression it will go to the superheated point. That's why you want to use entropy temperature relation, that you know very well, that simple equations are there. Let me explain that equations also. I hope these equations you have practiced in the basic thermodynamics, so that is entropy chapter. That's very simple equations. This is the pH diagram. See how it will be there. 1 to 2 dash. 1 to 2 dash is compression process, dry cell. See, it is compression process. 1 to 2 dash. 1 to 2 dash is compression process. Here dry saturated point. This is supposed to be dry saturated. Dry saturated. When it is compressed here, it will become superheated. It will go to the superheated. Anyhow, while in the condenser, before it is reaches the saturation liquid point, it will pass the dry saturated point also. That point I note down 2, and then it is reaching, it reaches the point 3. Here it will reaches the 3 and isenthalpic expansion, and it is reaches the 4. This is the problem. This is the evaporator temperature, this is the condenser temperature. This is how your problem will works. Now let me explain. The refrigeration capacity is given 15 ton, that you know very well conversion. The 15 ton ETC is equal to 3.5 kilojoules per second, that is 1 ton. From the ammonia table, this is the property table, you can note down. This is the problem, you are note down. 15 degree, 30 degree evaporator and condenser temperature. Why evaporator temperature is less compared to the condenser temperature? Because in the evaporator is nothing but where you are absorbing the heat energy, where you are preserving this perishable item, where whatever the item you want to reduce temperature, that temperature, obviously the temperature will be less than the condenser temperature. This is the enthalpy, entropy and all the things. You note down please this from the ammonia table. First H1, as per my direction, I hope you are note on all the values. What are the values? This is a pH diagram. From the pH diagram, you can note on H1 is equal to HT at evaporator pressure, that is equal to 14.269 kilojoules per kg. And refrigerant, after the compression, it enters to the superheated point. That therefore the equation for the superheated temperature, this is the equation from the pure substance that you have studied in your basic thermodynamics, that is H2 plus Cp into H2 dash, T2 dash minus T1 dash. See H2 dash is equal to H2 plus Cp into H2 dash minus T2 dash minus T2. But T2 temperature only you know, because 30 degrees Celsius temperature, what it is given, it is T2 temperature. You don't know the value of T2 dash. How to find the T2 dash? By using simple equations. Just these are the application of concept with small simple algebraic equations. See, H2 is equal to Hg at condenser temperature, that you can note down from the table. T2 is equal to 40 degrees Celsius. To find T2 dash, use the concept. What? S1 is equal to S2 dash, isentropic compression, and S2, look at your table, that is pH diagram on the table. Then S1 is equal to S2 dash, isentropic compression. Got it? Therefore S2 dash is equal to S2 plus Cp into ln of T2 dash divided by T2. S2 dash is equal to this equation you use. Therefore see 1 to 2 dash, this one will be the equation. S1 is equal to Sg, S1 is equal to Sg at a evaporator temperature. S2 is equal to Sg at a condenser temperature, that you know. S1 is equal to S2 dash. Getting? Therefore by using that equation, put the value of T2 in terms of Kelvin, because you are taking the ratio, not difference. That's why you want to put in terms of Kelvin. You want to put it Kelvin. S2 dash, that is S1 is equal to S2. This is S2 is equal to Sg at what? Condenser temperature. Cp value is given ln of T2 dash divided by T2. Therefore S2, this is the equation. T2 dash value will be, this is the T2 dash value. After this, put in the enthalpy equation. H2 dash is equal to this one. What is the enthalpy? This one. what is the enthalpy, this one unit, that is kilojoules per kg. Therefore this is the equation, answer you got. H2 is equal to Hg at condenser temperature. Then you are putting all the values. H3 is equal to Hf at condenser temperature. Isenthalpic expansion. Amount of heat energy removed, H1 minus H4, that you know, that is refrigeration effect. And work supplied to the compressor, that is W is equal to H2 dash minus H1, that is equal to 1695. See students, I am explaining this problem in the PPT, but until unless you note down the problem and then work out yourself by using the book, you can't understand the problem. Definitely whoever solve the problem in the this one video or using PPT, whatever, but until unless you use the book, notebook, and with the teacher guidance, you solve the problem. Until unless that, you can't understand the problem. Please do that one. Definitely you can understand. Once you understand, you will enjoy like anything this subject. Therefore the refrigeration capacity is equal to 3.5 into 15, then 52.5 kilojoules per second. Then mass flow rate of the refrigerant is equal to mass MC divided by RC divided by RC is refrigeration capacity divided by RE. Unit balance I am already shown in the last problem. This is how your refrigerant this one will comes kg per second. You can convert this one with into 60, they will get in kg per minute. Kg per minute you will get. Cool. If the refrigerant subcooled by 5 degrees Celsius, the see subcooled by, you please note this by, not to, it is given by, not to. Therefore your 30, it is 30 minus 5 degree subcooled by 5 degrees Celsius means 25 degrees Celsius. At 25 degrees Celsius, you note down the HF value. Since already at the 30 degrees Celsius temperature in the condenser, it reaches the liquid state. It is subcooled to 25 degrees Celsius. Subcooled to 25 degrees Celsius by 5 degrees Celsius. That is, still it is lead to the liquid phase. Then its enthalpy will be reduces. Amount of heat energy given to the this one what you so called outside to the atmosphere, it will reduce. This analogy how you can give means, if at all you want to raise some amount of bricks to the first floor, second floor, then if you remove the bricks almost in the first floor itself, definitely you can raise the easily the bricks to the second floor. This is the analogy. Why? Because if at all it's having the less temperature before enter to the evaporator, definitely it will absorb the more amount of the heat energy, then your refrigeration effect will be increases. When the refrigeration effect is increases, your COP value also increases. That's why this is the evaporator, amount of heat energy absorbed in the evaporator, refrigeration effect. This is the refrigeration effect. Then if the refrigerant subcooled by 5 degrees Celsius, this is the thing will happens. This thing will happens. Already here it has to reach, but it is reaches to 3. Then H3 minus H4, isenthalpic expansion. Therefore your work supplied will be H2 minus H1 dash. Then refrigeration capacity you come to know. Mass flow rate of the refrigerant, you see compared to other earlier, its mass flow rate of the refrigerant is it reduces. See, mass flow rate of the refrigerant, when it is reduces, automatically work consumed by the compressor will reduces. Then your COP will increases. So COP is increasing. It is increases 4.1, earlier 4.1, now it is 4.9. So this is without subcooling. With subcooling, when with the subcooling, your area of the work will increases. The area of this one refrigeration, not the work, the area of refrigeration effect will increases. The area of the refrigeration effect is increases, your COP of the refrigeration process will be increases. This is the problem I have explained. Thanks for listening this problem. Please practice this problem, very easy. If you have any doubt, you can call me. Thank you.